What's going on, guys? It's Jake with JT Calls, and today we're going to work on the purr. I get messages all the time about the purr. Everybody wants to know how to do the purr, and it's a pretty hard note to get down initially. It really bothers people's tongues, tickles the roofs of their mouth. But once you get it mastered, it's no problem. It's a super easy and fun note to do. And it's a really great soft sound to use when the bird's close, but you need him just to get a little bit closer, but you don't want to call too loud. The purr is perfect. Alright, so let's just jump right into it. So first, there's a few ways we can do it. I use the uvula, the thing that hangs down in the back of your throat. Some guys can't do that, and they gotta flutter their tongue, and then other guys can't do either of those, and they gotta with their lips. All three are effective. I think the realism's kind of ranked in that order. The uvula, to me, sounds the most realistic. Your tongue is kind of in the middle, and the lips work, but don't sound the greatest. So first, I'm going to start with the uvula. That's a fun word. We're going to act like we're gargling. And that thing back there, that's your uvula. That's flapping. And if you can do that, you can make a purr on a turkey call. So we're going to put the call in our mouth. We're going to use our tongue, use the middle of our tongue, and apply pressure with it to the roof of our mouth. Make sure the tape's making a seal with the roof of our mouth. And then we're just going to gargle. And then once you get the turkey call to start making noise, try and take some of the voice and some of the throat out of it. Take the g out of it. We're just going to blow air, but keep our uvula moving. And then you get a purr. So once you've got the throat out of it and we're making a purr, it should sound like this. We need to speed it up just a little bit, so I'm going to blow a little bit harder. And then I can change the pitch of it based on how much pressure I'm applying with my tongue. So to give a little bit more realism, I'll start low, go high, and then go back low. I'll just add a little bit more tongue pressure in the middle of it. And so that's the purr with your uvula. Now, if you can't do that, then you can try and blow air over your tongue to get your tongue to flutter. I can't teach you how to do that because I, for the life of me, cannot make it happen, but I'm okay with that. And so if you can't get either of those to work, then you can flap your lips. And unfortunately, I can't demonstrate that one either because when my mind thinks purr, my uvula starts going and I can't make it stop. I have no idea how to get it to stop and try and use my lips. So you're just gonna have to take my word for it. If you get that solid note going and with your lips, then it'll make something that sounds relatively like a purr. So now, when are we gonna use the purr in the woods? For me, it's kind of just a filler sound and something that I'm going to use as he's getting super close and I don't want to use anything very loud. Just a standard relaxed purr doesn't have too much meaning to it. To me, what it says is I'm just over here scratching the leaves, eating some bugs. There's no problems over here. If you were thinking there was some kind of problem over here, I'm assuring you there's not. Everything is good. Nothing really exciting is happening. I'm just eating and I'm content and all is well in the world. But now you crank the volume and the intensity up a little bit and you get an aggressive purr almost into a fighting purr. That shows some aggression. And I've seen some instances where there's nothing that can break that bird and then you get into a fighting purr and the next thing you know, he's flying and running towards you. I think of it kind of like if your girlfriend's like, hey, I want to go to the bar and get some dinner. And you're like, no, you go. I'm going to stay over here across the street and have pizza, but you go to the bar and get some wings if you want. And, she's like, come on, let's go. And you're, no, I'm not going. But then all of a sudden she gets in there and you hear yelling and screaming and beer bottles breaking and pool sticks breaking and there's a huge fight going on. You're over there in a hurry. So I think it's kind of like that in the turkey world. And to do the fighting purr, it's really good to have a buddy with you, so you can be one hen and then your buddy can be the other hen. You can do a lower purr and your buddy can do a higher pitched purr, or you can try and do it by yourself, but it's a little bit harder to do by yourself. So I'm going to try and do a low hen and a high hen, and they're kind of scuffling back and forth. Now, I'm not the best at defining purr in the world, but especially if you can get two guys, it becomes a ton easier because you can just kind of bounce back and forth off each other. It makes it a ton easier. But anything that's a little bit more sped up and more aggressive will work. Alright guys, well I think that brings us to the end of the purr. So if you haven't already, subscribe. Do it. Give the video a thumbs up and let me know down in the comments what you think. Are you able to achieve the uvula shaker? Can you flap your tongue or do you gotta flap your lips? So let me know down in the comment section which one is easiest for you and which one you think sounds the best. And if you got any suggestions or recommendations for videos in the future, leave those down in the comments as well. So guys, thanks a bunch for watching. I hope it helped you and we'll see you in the next one.